And that's the thing, is because DJs and photographers, they're creative people who don't know diddly about making money. All their life they've done things for cases of beer, if they're lucky, maybe a six-pack. And they got a friend of a friend, and pretty soon people just assume that. I mean, it's crazy. They write a $500 check to some ass-crack plumber who just stumbled into their house and turned a wrench. But then here comes Mr. DJ, and they're like, hey, you know, my kid could, you know, do a drawing for you or something, and you're supposed to do like a 16-hour wedding, which involves all kinds of planning. And yes, thousands of dollars. Let's go to a beautiful setting. It's purgatory. It's not actual purgatory, what, you know, the Catholics are worried about and stuff, but the Durango, Colorado. And I DJ'd a lot of weddings down there. And when you're gonna do a wedding in a mountain town in Colorado, you got some coin. I mean, just to start, I mean, just to even think you're gonna get some on your honeymoon night, that's 40 grand. But so the average is like 60, 80 grand. And I would get paid $50 an hour to DJ. And so I'm down there, and there's this family, and we're having a great time. Well, not everybody, the bride and groom, got into it because the groom went out and got stoned, and they actually got into a shouting match during their first dance. So there was some stress. But that was kind of good for me because people were turning to me. You know, like when your parents are arguing, you kind of cling to your aunt. And so I thought, well, what's more fun than Bob Marley? You know, Stir It Up or something. Everybody can dance to it. It's like an invitation to a white person to dance to black music. And so I throw it on there, and the room is just silent, like, and everybody's shooting glances at me, and I was like, I didn't get the groom stoned, and even the stoned groom now is a little bit irritable. And suddenly, there's always one, too, at every wedding. It's not the bride that's typically the problem. She's on Xanax and feeling good, but it's either there's her mother, or there's some appointed matriarch-like person who could be in a freaking fairy tale as the evil godmother, and she's lording over you. The music's always too loud. You're playing Billy Idol, and she's like, what's this? Dancing with yourself? Is that not a euphemism? And here she comes in her little power suit, and she storms up there, and she's like, how could you do this? I was like, how could I do what? And she said, how could you play one of these Rastafarians? Well, little did I know that the bride's father was not in attendance because he'd been hacked to death by a Rastafarian with a machete. Apparently he had some business deal that went wrong, and he went down to visit his Rastafarian friends, and as far as I'm thinking, okay, there's drug problems in the family, Rastafarians. I'm not sure if this was like an up-and-up deal, but he gets killed by a machete-wielding, Bob Marley-like individual, which had everybody in the room not at all wanting to stir it up. When you're there and you're getting paid $50 an hour to DJ a wedding, all the other service providers are gone. The cake people are gone. The photographer's pretty much, you know, he's rolled it up. He's got all his group shots. The caterers are taking away the chafing dishes, and it's just you alone, like an altar of up at the top, some place for which they can throw their shat. They're you, and it's you. Anything goes wrong, it's you. And what do you know? Nothing. Other than Janis Joplin might segue really good into Freddie and the Fenders, and that's all you should know. But it's not all you have to know. So forget about it. If you're thinking that your buddy's gonna, you know, get you to do your wedding for his wedding for nothing, no, tell him to go to heck.